What's up guys, Ryan with the MXG channel, and I'm going to show you how to service your fork on a CRF230F. And if you can do this, it's going to be pretty much the same on the 250Fs. Basically a lot of these play and trail bikes, they're pretty much the same. So what are you going to need? You're going to need fork seals and dust seals. If you can do these yourself, you can get cheap seals on eBay or Amazon or something. You know, if you don't want to do them quite as often, get some very quality seals. You're going to need a 6mm Allen, probably a ratchet to break it loose, and then an impact helps to tighten it back up. A 37mm fork seal driver. Don't skip out on this. Don't bother going to the hardware store and getting PVC pipe. Just order these. They're 30 bucks. They do the job very well. If you own the bike, you're gonna need it. You're gonna need some fork fluid. Probably for this bike, you want to run around 10 weight, unless you're a lighter, very beginner, you're just keeping it kind of to the yard, then you can run 5 or 7 weight. Heavier riders definitely going to want to run like a 10 weight. If you're very heavy, you might even bump it to a 15. And then you're going to need a 17mm socket to get the cap off. That's what we're going to do first. These caps, some of them I've had, they're very tight and hard to get loose, so we'll just check on this one. This could really cause you a problem if you don't have a round to set up for your vise. So you're going to need a vise. If you have a normal vise, not a suspension vise, then you're just going to want to get some kind of like adapters for it, like this, or here's some plastic ones that let me adapt down for damping rods. Something like that you can get. Here's some. And these can just sit in a regular vise and turn it into a round clamp for you. For some reason, these were uber tight, which is crazy. They don't need to be because they are sealed with an O-ring. And they have the help of gravity, so these don't have to be tight. I'm going to have to heat this one up. Okay guys, we got this cap loosened. It's now a 16mm instead of a 17. If you watch my oil change videos, you will notice I always talk about the dangers of over tightening things and how over tightening causes way more problems than under tightening. This is an example of that. Absolutely not necessary. There's your O-ring. Just snug this down, guys. Okay, so now that we have our cap off, we're going to let that cool from its molten temperatures. Now we're going to go ahead and tip the fork up and drain it out. I've got an oil drain over here. The spring's going to come out. Interesting. The oil from the last fork was brown. This oil is somewhat clear. Must not have been as much mud in there. We're going to pump it a couple times. Oh, this one's got some gray coming out now. And you're just going to save yourself a lot of mess later if you pump it now. The more you can get it out of there now, the better. I'm just going to lean it up against that, let it sit there for 10 or 15 minutes, and we'll come back. Okay, so my fork's drained. I've got my spring kind of retainer. It's like a seat. Gonna leave my spring here. Flip the fork upside down, and you're gonna find the bolt on the bottom. I do not recommend trying to break this loose with an impact. Break it loose with a ratchet. Go. Once you break it loose, once you break it loose, if the whole cartridge is wanting to spin inside the fork, you can use an impact to take it the rest of the way. So I spun that off, and sometimes this will fall out. Sometimes it'll get kind of lodged in there. Now we're gonna take our bolt out, lay that there. Flip the fork back upright. Work on the other side. Grab my flathead. Work up the dust seal. Ooh. Ugh. Gross. And I'm going to clear out all this crap so that I can see the circlip. That is disgusting. Got the circlip out of there. Now with the circlip out, I should be able to couple pulls and separate the fork. And now it's pretty much a job of just cleaning things. Let this drip over here for a few. There is one more piece inside this I need to get out. Sometimes it'll get stuck. There it is. This piece sits right on here like that. But we're going to just clean everything up now. We're going to clean this. We're going to clean the bolt. We're going to clean in here. And we're going to clean the inner tube. Okay, so when you're cleaning these, I use a mix of picks and flathead screwdrivers. Green Scotch-Brite, carbon choke cleaner, and as far as getting down into the tube, I'll just take a paper towel and then something like this piece of conduit. This is after spraying carbon choke cleaner down in there. I'll push that down in there. Ugh. Gross. And I'll find something smaller, like this adjuster, and I'll push back from this side. Push it back out. And yeah, this one was dirty on the outside, but actually wasn't too awful bad on the inside. Okay, now I'm going to clean this inner tube. I'm going to pull my seals off. Take my bushings off, inspect them. They look pretty good. They look better in this fork than the other one. The other one was starting to get low on oil. That's when your bushing coatings really wear out. Inside actually looks really clean on this one. Wipe off our bushings. Now we're going to clean this rod. Get this gunk from underneath this cap. There'll be a lot of gunk that gets caught up in this cap, so kind of shove your rag in there, spin it around. There we go, look at that. Put our cap on. Now what we're going to do is going to put this rod back through the tube. Might have to jiggle it to get that to fall. We'll lay our tube like this and put this cap right here on the bottom. Okay, our bushing and tube and everything is clean. We're going to put the inner bushing back on. We're going to hold everything sideways and we're going to insert like that. Now with that bottomed out, we're going to find our now clean bolt. I'm just going to make sure, you might have to hold pressure, make sure that inner tube doesn't move, and we're going to try to get that started. Okay. We're going to snug that down. You know you're good if the inner tube won't come back out. Now we're going to put this back in the vise. Make sure this is all clean. And we're going to add our inner bushing. This washer right here is what sets your bushing. This is when you'll need your 37 mil fork seal driver for the first time. Just very light tap. Now you go to your oil seal. That lip with the letters and the numbers that you can read are going to go up. I'll set that there. A few good taps. Clean up. Oh, let's put this on the wire brush. Good as new. Pop this into the groove. Okay. Now your dust seal. Should just pop in like that. Sweet. That's pretty much it, guys. Now we're going to put in our oil. The best way to do this is with fork compressed. Fill up the fork with oil and use a syringe. Something like this or this. 144 millimeters from the top is where you want the oil in this. I know that on a completely serviced fork like this is about 13 ounces normally, and it's not that important to me. But if it is to you, you would set your dial here at 144 millimeters, right there. You would fill this thing up with oil. You'd set this here, and you use your syringe to pull out oil until it started sucking, and then you know you're at 145. That's how you do it. I know that I need about 13 ounces, so I'm just going to dump in 13 ounces and call it a day. All right, so now I'm just going to pour my oil into the fork slowly. You can hear it's burping, trying to breathe. Okay. All right, if you're gonna measure it, pump it a few times so everything settles. Yeah, that's real close to 144. So now we're gonna add our spring. Make sure it's clean. On this fork, it comes with the coil, the close coils down. That's the way it comes out of it. I really don't think mechanically it matters, but okay, there's a spring seat laying around here somewhere. So you're gonna bring your tube up, put your spring seat on your spring. Snug down this top cap. I've got a bit of a situation here because my cap's ruined, obviously. I'm gonna just barely snug it down. I'm gonna snug it down even less than normal because it is half stripped. Now I need to hammer this back off here. There we go. And I will take a Sharpie and write 16 on here so I know I have one 17 and one 16 millimeter cap. But that's all there is, guys. CRF230 forks. So yeah, hope you enjoyed. If you appreciate these videos, you can grab your rebuild parts from either the Amazon links in my description or the YouTube integrated links below the video. Smash the like button, hype the video, and leave a comment down below and let me know what you think of your CRF230F. Thanks so much. I'll see you guys in the next video.